All right, we are finally live. Yay! Hi, I'm so happy that we were able to have you on.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. Let me hang on one second here. I know we're starting super late, but we were having technical difficulties, so we're still good. Let me see here. And go here. All right. Hi, Tiffany. We were having technical difficulties getting started, so we'll see if we get a couple more people coming on. Thank you guys for being patient. I know that it's almost 30 minutes later, but for some reason we could not get connected, but here we are.
Here. Thank
Yes.
you for your patience.
This is Bethann. If anybody hasn't met her, we're going to learn all about her here in just a second. Just going. So how has your morning been?
I have a little Gunner back here giving me some tears, so I apologize, guys. It's good.
That's what motherhood is all about. It's
I know. For like, 20, 30 minutes, and then obviously we got to give them some entertainment. So he might be joining us today, but we'll keep him quiet.
That's okay. Hi, Gunner.
You want to say hi? No.
How old is he?
He's 2. And I'm doing the worst thing. Like, I hate doing this. So, like, give him YouTube. I'm like, watch this for just a few minutes because we're going to have a quick chat about balancing.
Well, I know Tiffany is pro screen time, and I'm not going to lie. I don't use it as a distraction, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, go play with my phone.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to get something done. And so it's a luxury that we have, and we shouldn't be so afraid to use it.
Exactly. I think it's kind of got this bad persona because of the past, and like we're known as lazy parents if we do it, but in reality, I think the people maybe calling lazy parents didn't have this back when they were our age and our parents and things like that.
Absolutely. You accomplish so much.
I know, we can conquer the world with an iPad. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. I know it's pretty late, so we'll just kind of try to keep this not too long, since we are starting so late. But go ahead and explain a little bit about yourself, how you came into YouTube, how you came into fitness, and just your story. I want to learn everything.
Okay, awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Bethann Wagner, and I write a blog called Animal Print. And my Instagram is bethann.wagner. That's where you'll probably find me the most because I try to post there much more frequently than my blog. I have been blogging for 6 years now, and oddly enough, this all started when I was working at YouTube as a senior strategist for fashion and beauty creators. And my role when I first started there was to get creators to take their content off their blog, which 6 years ago, everybody was just blogging and really focused on that. And my job was to bring them over to YouTube and to get them started making vlogs and fashion and makeup videos on YouTube. And they all had the same excuse for me, which is like, that's so hard. I just found a photographer I like. I don't have time to make video. I don't like the way I look on video or something like that. So I said, I don't understand anything about this because I've never blogged. So I'm going to start a blog and see what that's like. So then I'll know how to like navigate some of the pushback that I'm getting from them. So I started my blog. I thought about it for like 5 minutes and I'm like, oh, I love Bethann. I love Animal Print and my name is Bethann. And I love Bethann. So I'm going to just call it Bethann Animal Print. I didn't put any thought into it. I made it and put a few posts up. And before I knew it, after like 100 posts, not before I knew it, I had posted like 100 posts. I got featured in Refinery 29 as a top 22 blogs you need to know about in San Francisco, which is where I was living.
That's awesome.
I was so excited. I mean, it took 100 posts, but like that could have never happened, or it could have taken 1,000 posts. And so after that, I was like, okay, this isn't just like a random hobby for my real job anymore. This could potentially be a real job, or at least something to take a little bit more seriously. So that happened in 2013, and I started taking it a little more seriously after that. And then in 2017, I left my job at Google, which owns YouTube. So I left YouTube and Google to focus just on growing the blog, growing my YouTube channel, which, like, if you look at it now, is like no videos, but a lot of focus is on my blog and on my Instagram right now, and helping creators that are in the fashion and beauty space as a consultant.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's so exciting. That's so cool. I love that. And I will definitely have to pick your brain later about YouTube.
I still geek out on it so much. Like, it's one of my favorite things, especially when creators are interested in starting and they don't know what to do. I'm like, well, hello. If I worked there for 5 years, it was for this, so I could help other people out.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. And you post a lot about, because I've seen your channel, you also post a lot about working out and helping moms in whether pregnant and postpartum.
Yes, that is a major passion of mine, and it has been really my whole life. I kind of grew up around like dance and drama, musical theater, and I don't think everybody in the space deals with this issue, but one thing I dealt with growing up around those things was the feeling that you need to be thin and that you need to like have a certain aesthetic to really like get that next role. And so there was some like disordered behavior with my like friends of mine and with myself all growing up. We would, like, you know, limit a little bit about what you eat and always be worried about it. And so then when I stopped doing that and started college and started working out, I became fanatical about it. Like, I started training at my college. I was teaching abs classes and teaching kickboxing classes,
Yeah.
becoming really strong and not worrying about like fitting this aesthetic or like limiting what you eat, and just focusing on being strong and like having stamina and being able to run for 13 miles. So I started doing all this around 1920 and really like got so much joy from helping others and doing it myself that it's always been something sort of on the back burner for me, and that I never like made a career out of it. But I love it, and I've worked out. He's watching a vegan video. We're talking about how I've worked out through both my pregnancies. Gunner's my youngest, and I have a 7-year-old. She's almost 7, and worked out like obviously after they were born, and it really helped me so much with things like postpartum. I had some postpartum anxiety, and like just getting those endorphins going and moving through that. Fitness has been like the crutch that I've leaned on. And so I love sharing that story because I think a lot of people deal with those issues, whether it's eating disorders or postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety, and they're afraid to talk about it. And I'm like, hey, it happens. It's happened to you. And this is how I got through it. It might help you too.
Exactly. We actually that was our discussion last week, was postpartum blues and dealing, or like baby blues and dealing with postpartum. And that's so key, really. I'd never thought about that. Through my whole pregnancy, I had a lot of complications. Like I had sciatica really bad, and I just couldn't really get myself motivated to go because I was in so much pain all the time. And I'm sure, like most positive, that if I had been working out consistently through my pregnancy, then I definitely probably wouldn't have had as much anxiety. I mean, you never know, because postpartum and baby blues hits everybody differently, but I'm sure it definitely would have helped. And with that, what are some key things while you're pregnant you would suggest moms to do? And just kind of get them, like, even if it's just, like some simple things. I know you have some videos you have on different exercises, which I also have. Her link is in my description to her channel, so you can make sure and go subscribe to her and see all her other videos, but she'll give you some quick tips and just moves and things that you'd suggest doing while you're pregnant. Keep you going.
Pregnant, really doing exercises that your body is already do. So if you're already training for a half marathons, you can keep doing that. If you're more into bar or yoga, you can keep doing that and just make modifications. Obviously, you want to talk to your doctor about them, but of course, like after 12 weeks, you probably don't want to be laying on the belly or like doing full-on sit-ups. Or if you're really into kickboxing, you might want to like take a little break from that, because if, you could potentially like hurt the baby. But always talk to your doctor. You can usually keep doing whatever you're doing. And one thing that I like always recommend to people that are interested in working out but might have issues like sciatica, from what I hear, is incredibly painful. So you don't want to be putting a lot of like pressure on your joints, your spine. You don't want to hurt yourself any more than you already are. So like I always say, consider swimming, because it's so low impact and such an amazing workout. I swear, like swimming 1 mile is like running 3. And if you just get into the pool and feel light, it's like a gift from God that you don't feel heavy.
It really is. It really is. I would like towards the end, I would just went and sat in a pool and I grabbed a floaty and I'm like, oh my gosh, like all the weight of Michael was just away. It was gone. It was great.
It's the best feeling. Like we should all band together and do it more. They say like aqua aerobics is like, it sort of has this reputation of like an older woman's sport. I'm like, no, if you're pregnant, go do it.
Yeah, exactly. You really, I mean, we should really just start like a pregnancy aqua class, because it's so good for you. I mean, even just getting in there and like you feel so lightweight, like you can conquer the world in the water when you're pregnant.
Absolutely.
40 weeks, 20 weeks, whatever you're at, like you can conquer the world.
Absolutely. And everyone deserves to feel that lightness, especially when you're getting close. I mean, I was on my way to the pool when I went into labor with Harlow at 40 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
You need to do whatever you can do to feel light, especially like I'm going to deliver in the summer. Like both my babies are August babies. It was so hot.
Oh, yeah, Michael's a middle of June baby, so I don't have it too bad, but
it's hot still. When you're that heavy, it's hot.
Yeah. You're just like, do anything, anything. Yeah. And so maybe I know that you have videos, so I have a description below on some different exercises you can do. Any suggestions on exercise? So let's say like if you're pregnant and you don't really work out ever, but you want to not gain too much and keep that baby weight on, say postpartum, what would you suggest doing in that situation?
Well, if you haven't been working out before, you don't want to start a fitness routine that's going to be really strenuous while you're already growing a human life, which is so incredibly difficult. But I'm a huge supporter of working out during pregnancy, because it helps you, maintain that joy with your dopamine levels being increased and your serotonin being increased. It helps you with labor, which is the most difficult workout you'll ever do in your life. So I love to see people continue to move or start some sort of routine where they're moving. You're making phone calls, buddy. So if you haven't done anything before, just take it easy, but do something like walk or go for a light swim. Do family walks with your husband, with your dog, with your partner, with your sister, whoever you can get to go with you, and just keep moving. Do some really easy, gentle yoga. Again, nothing too strenuous if you haven't worked out before, but just something gentle. And talk to your doctor. Obviously, make sure that this is going to be right for you and for the beautiful baby that you're growing. But you just want to have like some flexibility and like movement when you go into labor.
Yeah, I remember I would if couldn't go to I wouldn't really go to the gym. I would YouTube like simple things. Like there was this dance that I would do, and it was really good to interact, because you got to hold your belly and like you danced with your baby, and it's just on YouTube. So like even if you don't have a gym, you don't have access to a pool, you don't want to go walking outside, like you can literally look up prenatal yoga on YouTube. You can look up dancing on YouTube, and it's all right there for you. Like there's really like no excuse to not do it. And I think it's just it's a good way to connect with your child while they're inside too.
Absolutely. Your blood obviously starts circulating while you're working out. So you're giving them fresh blood, and it's so good for their brains. So don't even think about it like I need to do this to not gain too much baby weight, but like I need to do this to give my baby the best possible blood it could have.
Yes, I love that. That's so true. And so going into that, like postpartum, I know it's just total chaos. You don't even know what's going on for the first 2 months of their born in the first place. But, you know, like once you're cleared to start working out, I know that you have some linked in your YouTube, but what would you suggest for the moms to, when they're starting, like finding the time, really, like you know, it's huge, is really just finding the time to get that, you know, just a little bit of workout in. What would you suggest?
I think, I mean, you do what works for you and allow yourself to find that time, because we talk about this a lot in today's society, is like we all have the same amount of hours in the day as Beyonce. It's like totally true, but like we don't all have that many personal assistants or like that support at home. Like you might live in a city alone. Like my husband and I, we don't have any family here. So what we have to do as women, as like people growing these little angels, is allow yourself that time, and then it opens up all these doors. So you now tell yourself, I deserve this, I need this. All of a sudden you're more comfortable asking a neighbor or a trusted friend for help watching the baby for 30 minutes so you could take a shower or do a light yoga class. Or you could potentially have a gym where there's a daycare, which is what I've relied on really heavily, not having family here. And, you know, we have to pay for it, but it's an expense that I am willing to make every month so that I can have that time to work out. Ask for help and don't be afraid to do that. Or ask your partner, if you have a partner, a husband, a spouse, whatever, to help you for 30 minutes a day or an hour a day, whatever you could get in. And don't be afraid to ask for that if you decide that you need that, because you deserve it.
Yes. And that's one thing I'm really animate about. Like if you look at my Instagram, my subscription box, it's all about deserve. Like you deserve it. You gave birth. Like you went through 9 months of growing a child. That's the hardest thing you're going to ever do in your life. 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, whatever however many children that you decide to have. And more than anything, you deserve to work out. It's not just like, and I mean, with social media and society's view on what women should look like and how we should bounce back and stuff, just the big things are listening to your body and just knowing when you're pushing too hard, or when you're like, hey, like let's say you are feeling down about baby blues, like get outside and go for a walk. And for me, I had, with the sciatica and stuff, I had a lot of complications postpartum as well with working out. Like I didn't truly start working out up until May, which is almost a year later. And I was okay with that. I had no problem being like, you know what, I got myself some mom pants and just, you know, you're in workout pants most of the time anyways, and like a nursing tank as long as you're nursing, if you decide to nurse. And really that's the biggest, I mean, that's all you're in. And I just listen to my body, just like you said. And, you know, we don't have all the personal assistants like Beyonce does and Kylie Jenner, and who, you know, it's like, I swear, just morphed into, I don't know what, but like, we don't, you know, most people don't have those privileges. And, sorry, I just saw Amy's post. Exactly, Amy. Yeah, she just said that she wakes up 2 hours earlier than her kids so she can get that workout in. I do the same thing. Exactly. I wake up and I'm gonna try to start going to a 5:30 a.m. workout class. Right now I go to a 6:30 a.m. So I wake up before he gets up so I can get that workout. I can get that me time. I can get a quick shower in. And usually by the time I'm done with that, he's waking up. But that's usually when I get my me time in, is that few hours before time. And then way later in the evening, I emailed you way late last night. Like I'm always working super late just to get everything done.
Yeah, and that's a sacrifice that you make for yourself, really. Is like, I think, like speaking totally candidly, if I like make it to the gym, you know, most days a week, 4 or 5 days a week, 6 would be amazing. I'm happier and I'm a better mom. And I just feel so much better that I do all my roles better if I take care of that. So waking up 2 hours early, like, you go, girl. That is amazing. Do that for yourself.
Yes, exactly. And so what, I guess, for finding the time, I know, I think we just said that, but like, what would you suggest? Like, what are some simple ways to, maybe if they haven't worked out before, or, you know, they're coming through this postpartum phase and they're entering that phase of like, hey, I want to start working out again. What would you suggest? Or like, what kind of some tips you would give to the moms who are just starting to get back into maybe wanting to work out or just seeking interest in it, that kind of thing.
Well, when you want to start, you already don't have any time, right? Because your day is taken up by all these things. You have to take something away. Maybe that's your sleep. Maybe that's your time on Instagram. I don't know what it is, but you have to take something away to make time for that. And it's going to be hard because you laid out your day in a way that's perfect for you. So you have to just do it. Just do it. Find something that you could take away, an hour or two of sleep like Amy does and like you're doing as well, and make that time for 14 days. That's how long it takes to build a habit. Just make that time for 14 days. And then I'm not kidding you, you will be, I always say addicted, which is like a strong word, but you'll feel so good that you will gladly wake up 2 hours before to have that time for yourself. Or like where mine comes out of, like where my workout time comes out of is social life. I sacrifice, I don't have a lot of time with friends. I don't go to like happy hours or dinners with the girls. Like I don't do that. And it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make now so that I could get the sleep that I need. Cause I'm the type of person that like needs 8 hours or I'm a psychopath. And like that's how I am. And I know I need sleep. So I get my sleep and then I work out and like, I don't really see my friends, and that kind of sucks, but like, it makes me a better mother. So that's what I'm doing for now. Just keep doing it for 14 days. And then I swear you're going to feel so good. And then, okay, I'm going like a long way here, but after 14 days, you'll start feeling better. And then after like 3, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, really, you'll start to see a difference.
Yes.
Or in your arms, in your happiness levels, like you'll notice those differences. And then you'll be like, I am fierce. And you will be so obsessed with working out at that point, even if you're just walking and like you start to notice that your arms and your back look better and you have better posture from like going on walks. You'll start to crave that.
Yes, that's so true. I am a part of, there's a gym called F45, and I say this in all my videos because I just started, I'm excited about it, but it's an 8-week challenge, and the first 2 weeks are just total, I mean, let's be honest, it's hell. There's no caffeine, and there's no sugar. And then obviously through the 8 weeks, there's no alcohol. I don't know how long that'll last, but I mean, it's a challenge though, and it's not easy to do. The first 3 days, I was a monster. Like, you did not want to be around me. I was irritable. I was cranky. I was tired. But I knew that there's like, it's like, they always say it's the first 2 days, like you get those caffeine headaches because you're craving it. And you get, like after, it took me about, what was it, like 6 days before I started to really kind of, my body started regulating and like became, neutral again, like not needing the caffeine, not needing the sugars. And now like, and I'm starting to see, like, I felt my arms and I'm like, oh, that's muscle, that's not fat anymore, hey, like, and it's only week 1. So if you just stay consistent with whatever plan, if you need a plan, like I joined this gym and they gave me a foolproof plan. Like they gave me, it's on, everything's on my phone. And they, like, I go to their gym and do their workouts, but they also gave in the challenge, they give you a shopping list, a grocery list of exactly what to buy. They give you the meals of what time to eat, when to eat, like what to eat, how to make everything you eat. And it's awesome. Like if you need something, like it took me doing that and making those moves and those sacrifices to get to where I wanted to be and like to get to where I want to go. And luckily we have nothing major going on in these next couple months. So I hope, we'll see how it goes. But just those, like you said, those 14 days, that's the first 2 weeks that they start. It's called, I don't know, it's called hell for me, but I mean, it's not going to be easy. It's not at all going to be easy, but you do have to make those sacrifices. Wake up early. I stayed up Sunday night, 3 hours. I was cooking, meal prepping for the entire week. So just because, guess what? Now all I have to do is go heat up my lunch. I have to heat up my dinner. I don't have to do anything. Like all my snacks are already done. And I sacrificed those. Like Sunday, I think I went to bed. I was cooking till like 1 a.m, but I don't have to worry about it now. Like all my meals are prepped. All my meals are cooked. If you need something like that, even do that for your kids. Like do, meal prep it out and go look online. There's so many resources at your fingertips that you can do to, get the workouts in, get the meals in and stuff like you said, you feel so much better. You're happier. Like you do have more energy when you work out, believe it or not. Like I sacrifice sleep. Amy says she sacrifices her sleep to do it. But in the end, do you not feel more like awake and alive and like ready to conquer the day when you're done with that? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Workouts are in the morning. I don't know if you agree with this, but like I honestly feel like I could go without any coffee that day. Like
yes.
I'm so pumped.
Yeah, I almost don't even like now I don't really want coffee, but like after I work out, it's like almost like I don't really need the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you have so much more energy because your endorphins are going, like you've got so many, just good feelings hanging out, coming out, not hanging out, coming out of you. But it's just you feel better about it. Yeah, exactly. Amy, you do feel so much more energized and it's such an amazing feeling.
It's good. You're a role model, so you want to show the kids too that like being active is cool. We don't just sit around, and not that any mom sits around ever, but like you're making time for yourself because you're important.
Yes, exactly. And I don't know. I swear Michael's going to be like some power lifter because it's probably just the phase that he's in, but he is like lifting everything and like he's doing, like the tire flips you can do, like lifting a tire. He does that with like his tray table for his high chair. Like he does it with the gate. Like he does it with anything and everything he can flip. Like, and I'm just like, what is this?
I gave you the strength.
I'm like, you were like the Hulk baby. Like, where? I need to go put you in some competitions.
Yeah.
Do they do baby pumps? Like,
totally baby pump.
like, it's just crazy. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's just cool to see that. And you know that you being there and like your energy, you're more present with your kids. Like, you're not just like, oh my gosh, just give me 5 minutes, which we always need 5 minutes, but you're able to be more present and more aware and involved with what's going on with them.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I'm like super impressed with your meal prep. Does he eat solid food yet with you?
Yes. Yeah, he does.
That's awesome. That's like one part I need, like we all are like focusing on trying to make something better. And like, that's meal prep for me. So like hats off to you. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's not like some days it's like, oh my gosh, I do not want to, but Sunday is really just kind of my grind day. Like I get all, I go shopping, I get all that done. Bye, Amy. Thank you so much for coming. I'm
Bye.
so glad you got to join us on the chat. Yeah. Um, but that really it just makes such a difference. Like today I'm like, oh, what am I having? I'm like, oh, I've already made it. I don't have to worry about it. It's already done. And it just frees up so much time. Like in the evening, you're like wondering what's for dinner, or the kids are asking, what's for dinner, mom? And if you meal prep and you're like, oh, this is for dinner tonight, let's just pop it in the oven, or let's just, heat it up and it's ready to go. And it's such a time saver. So if you're looking for time, or time's your excuse, you've got that time. If you make those sacrifices and maybe save a few hours, instead of cooking 1 or 2 hours every single day, stay and cook for 4 hours, like just get it all done. And you've got yourself, 10 hours right there, just Monday through Friday of not having to worry about cooking, what's for dinner, what's for meals. It's all there for you.
Absolutely. Time to play.
What?
More time to play or work out.
Exactly. Yeah. Both. Playing is working out with a little one.
Totally. It is.
Yeah. So any other tips or suggestions that you'd have for moms who are just starting out, or like, in their postpartum, maybe it's been a couple years and they're like, honey, it's like past my postpartum time. Like, like what would you suggest for them?
I mean, the one thing that I want to say is that there's so much pressure. I think maybe it's just on me, but I imagine there's so much pressure that we put on ourselves. Everyone puts on themselves to like get fit and to like look a certain way and feel a certain way. And I just want to say, like, don't put pressure on yourself. Like, work out because it makes you happy. It makes you feel good. It makes you be more present. It makes you like you're being a good role model for your sons and daughters, but don't even worry about what you look like or how many macros you're putting into your diet. If you want to worry about that down the road, after you sort of like get your wheels turning a little bit, then worry about that later. But for now, just like allow yourself that time because you deserve it. to like go do whatever you need to do to get your body moving, and then down the road you can start taking it more seriously if you want to.
That's great. Yeah, that's great stuff. I love it. Oh, I'm so glad you're able to come on today. It was such a good conversation.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
having me. I'm glad we made this work.
Yes, I know, and I appreciate anybody who had been waiting for coming on and saying hi. We are having some difficulties connecting, so I'm really glad that we were finally able to get it done.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll add in your link to your Instagram below. So if anyone wants to go check you out, they can do there. But I also have her YouTube channel. You can go and subscribe to her. It's in the description. Once this goes on replay, you can go and see all of that below. So thank you so much for coming on, Bethann. That was so great. I loved it. I appreciate it. And next week we're going to be I totally mind blanked. This is what happens when you don't have caffeine. And I haven't worked out today. So, but I will be posting next week's discussion here in a couple days. And I really look forward to having everybody on that. But thank you so much for coming on here again. I look forward to hopefully working with you in the future, and we'll having you back on. That was great.
Absolutely.
Maybe talking more about like the stay-at-home strategizing mom.
Yeah.
That would be a really good topic. Yeah, how to organize as a mom.
Thanks for having me. Everyone have a good day.
Bye.